Like, there's no rhyme or reason for this happening. It just happens. Like,
Sometimes you don't need that.
They're not evil. They're not great because obviously they're killing the humans. And this story, the humans are the protagonists and they're the antagonists. But they're not like the alien from Aliens or a Predator, you know,
or Independence Day.
Yeah, or Independence Day. The whole story with her and the pizza, I found that also kind of refreshing because it's like, oh, she really is just about getting this pizza, and then like that's it because she's already dying. She's got some sort of cancer. Yep. You know, there's this whole emotional thing with like this connection with her father. Her father played piano at this place, and she wanted to get this pizza from this pizza place that they always went to. And then this poor guy, he's not even from America, first of all. He's from London, which Khadidra's thoughts and theories on that was he wanted to be a magician. And his family was like, no, you're going to go be a lawyer. And so they sent him to America to become a lawyer. Because he makes some like statement about like this wasn't part of the plan, right?
Yep.
And he does that magic trick in the bar towards the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. And so Khadidra was just like, oh, he wanted to be a magician. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that part was kind of weird. I will admit that.
Yeah, it was weird. But, again, human connection, right? It's just they're connecting in this bar with the pizza. They finally got the pizza. It wasn't even the pizza that she wanted.
No.
But he went and found her pizza.
Because the other place that they went to, the original place,
burned up, gone.
Burned down.
What did you think of the service cat in this film?
Okay, so all I kept hearing was about this cat. I was trying to stay off the line because I was like, what's everybody keep talking about this cat? Yeah, and I was just like, I want to figure it out for myself. And I thought the cat was pretty much the star of the show. Believe it or not, it's pretty much like besides the two human interactions, the cat was smart.
Yeah,
it was smart as a whip.
Very smart.
And it wasn't like most movies that you see where the animal is always caught up in these dumb situations and the human has to go get it. Well,
there was one situation where it was like in the nest, right? Like, which that's the only part of the movie that really kind of bothered me was this. So Joseph Quinn's character, he goes to get some medicine for Lupita because again, she's like dying of some sort of cancer or whatever. So he goes to get her some medicine. And while he's out, the cat shows up.
Yeah.
And on the way back, the cat gets into a nest of the creatures. And then Joseph Quinn, for some reason, is just like, well, I got to go get the cat. The cat would have been fine. 100%. The cat would have been okay.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, it was not in any danger. It made it this far. It's got, like, they've got separated from the cat before, and he showed back up.
Well, you know what? They did that for a reason. They
Suspense,
did that.
And they needed something else.
You need the little part to show you, like, oh, okay. To get to this point, that's what you need.
And also, they didn't stick around with it for too long, but they showed, like, a really giant, like, one of those things.
It was something.
It was like an alpha version.
Is that what it was?
That's what it seemed like to me, right? But they never showed it back again. It's not like they go and fight it. It's not like the military goes and blows it up or whatever. We don't see it anymore. But so I think that was like a nice little addition to like show that like, oh, there's bigger ones out there,
which was pretty cool. A sidebar. The whole time I was watching the cat, I was like, Jacob's cats would have been dead.
Oh yeah.
Your cats would have never made it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We were talking about that on the way home. They were like, oh, our cats wouldn't have done very good.
Even my homeboy, Darius, his cat would have never made it either.
Yeah. I am glad they didn't make it like the focal point of the movie.
Me too.
I suppose, or in a way where it's like, oh, this cat keeps running away and we got to go fight. Like the cat does run off a couple times, but it links back up with them at one point. Yeah. And then the whole thing with it, like them being in the city, it wasn't too much different from the other movies in a way, right? Because it's just crazy for the first 5 minutes when they first land and trash everything. But then after that, everyone kind of figures out a little quickly, like what they're about. But there are scenes in this movie where, like, I don't know, they're trying to get through somewhere and they knock something over and then the creatures start lurking around. And then instead of just sitting still for 5 minutes, they continue forward and they try to like sneak past the monster. And that irked me in the theater because I'm just like, if you guys would just sit still. Like there's that scene where they're in the revolving door.
Oh yeah, I remember
and he keeps pushing it, and he knocks over like a briefcase or whatever. And I'm just like, if you would just sit in that revolving door for like 5 minutes,
because it was gonna walk right past.
Yeah, but also it's because it's a prequel. You have to remember, it's like, okay, well, they don't really fully know how these things work. I assume at this point they kind of get like sound, obviously, but I guess to a certain extent they don't exactly know. The full amount of their hearing abilities. They didn't even know they could see. They couldn't see at one point.
They can't see. They can't swim.
Right.
We found that out.
Right.
We also saw now in the prequel.
Well, we knew that from the second one.
Yeah, we knew that in the second one, and we also knew too from the first one, waterfall. If there's rain or anything like that.
So they showed that in the first one too.
Yeah, they showed. Remember they were talking. I think it was John Krasinski.
Yeah,
character and his son. They were talking under a waterfall.
See, I don't remember that because when I saw that in this movie, because they do it a few times. Like it's like raining and they're talking under the rain, or like they're sitting in a fountain, or even like a thunderstorm comes through, and that's when they know they can make big noises.
Yeah, they did the first one.
I thought that was a new addition.
No.
Okay, so I didn't remember that. I was like, oh, this is kind of a new thing. I don't remember seeing. Maybe because they didn't show it as much in the other ones.
They didn't.
But this one, it's a kind of a main thing in this film. Is like it shows them able to have a conversation more. Because
immediately when they did that, I was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, they can talk when it's raining. They can talk. Yep.
That's cool. I didn't know it was the other ones, but I like seeing that more because at least it's like, okay, cool. They're not just like whispering and silent language the whole time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, interesting fact is like this was not directed by John Krasinski this time. It was somebody else, which off the back of If, which is a very melodramatic child's movie. It's about death and accepting bad things happen while you have a goofy imaginary friend around. I was watching this one and I was like, is John Krasinski okay? before I like watched the credits, I was like, is he doing all right? He seems to be making these sad movies. Like the main character in this movie has cancer. Like she's dying, actively dying. And we already did the spoiler bot thing. So she dies at the end of this. Yep. Right? She actively lets herself get taken by the monsters, which I like the way they did it.
Me too.
Because I thought they were going to repeat the first one where she just yells because there's that scene where like she's trying to get all the monsters to chase after her. And then there's that part where they start chasing after Joseph Quinn. And then you see her turn around. And I was like, oh man, she's going to scream and we're going to see her get like pile drive by these things. No, they didn't do that. She was walking down Harlem, like playing some music or whatever. That's how she went out. And it was like this beautiful like letter that she wrote to Joseph Quinn. Like she narrated over, and that was like a really nice, touching ending.
And she also gave him that jacket that she had on in the movie.
Yeah, so he could be seen when he jumps in the water.
Yep.
Right? Because there was a boat, which by the way, those freaking boats, they annoyed me. Because they were just like sitting there blowing the horn. I was like, you're trying to save people and you want people to come to you.
I can't come to y'all when
you got all these monsters around here. Yeah.
Like they're hearing the noise. They're like, well, we can't come near it.
But again, that comes from the fact that like they don't fully understand how these things work. Yeah. You know, like the military at the beginning of the movie, they would fly by like every 30 minutes or whatever, just announcing like, hey, evacuate over here.
All type of noise.
And then every time they did, there's just like a stampede of these creatures.
like roaches crawling up a wall.
Yeah, and you would see some helicopters got some helicopters. There were like debris all over the place.
I thoroughly enjoyed this film.
I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I thought it was a great movie. Great addition to the Quiet Place lore. Khadija and I were talking like I don't necessarily need to see another one.
Truly, we really don't.
I mean, we didn't even need this one, honestly.
We didn't, but it was cool though.
Yeah, and as far as like origins or prequel movies go, this was kind of different. I mean, it's the same but different, right? Because obviously it shows them landing, but it doesn't do like what you said and show the origin of these creatures. It doesn't like we still don't know where they came from. This could have just been another movie in the franchise. True. Honestly.
So I think I forgot how the second one ended.
The second one ended with them figuring out that like high frequency sounds actually kills them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The daughter figured that out, and in the end, because they got separated, they were still separated.
Yeah, they got separated. It was on the train.
Yeah, and they were still separated. So it basically showed that they figured out how to like kill the monsters. And so what I would like to see is maybe if they do a third one, is just now that they know this, maybe show them try to like rebuild society a little bit, and then like you can show that they have a border and they have like these sound devices to keep the things away. I think that would be a nice touch.
I definitely can see that.
Because
I could definitely see that.
Because society's got to rebuild a little bit. I don't see them. Or maybe do like a military thing where it's like it's been a couple years, and so like slowly they've been able to like fight back. That would be nice. I just don't know where else you would take it outside of like, you know, more development.
Well, I mean, I definitely think this is probably the last one that we get. Yeah, because it's got to be a continuation from the second one.
Yeah,
I don't know why the reason that this one was ever made, but I don't think we'll ever get the answer to that one.
No.